Hey, good morning, my friends. I'm Live Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa, and guess what? I have my work cut out for me as we look toward this fairly large storm system heading this way. Hey, first, I want to start off with one note for you. We'll get through this. It's it's a temporary ice storm is what I would call it in some places. And so if you know the timing, you can work around this. There will probably be some power outages, but this is nothing like something where we would get an inch of ice and then the temperatures would plunge and we'd have below freezing temperatures for a week or two. So I'll show you what I mean. There's going to be some, temporary ice accumulations that will be significant, but again, we will get through it, and let's work on the timing and some of the details now. Who gets the heaviest snow, where the mix is, where the freezing rain is, how far north the warm temperatures come. And you're going to see on Thursday when we're talking ice storm, you might be surprised. Detroit makes it to nearly 60 degrees. So let's get to it. All right, and then I'll try to answer some questions for you. So right now we have a cold front coming through lower Michigan. That is probably the most important thing in this whole deal. How far south will the cold air plunge? Because as the next storm approaches, you see it out to the west in the Dakotas, inching into Iowa. As that approaches, it will bring warmer temperatures with it, but if the temperatures really plunge, then they won't be able to rebound enough at the time that the biggest period of rain is coming through. So, winter storm watch in effect for winter storm watch in effect for just about all of lower Michigan except for the southern row of border counties. Okay, so what do we do to figure out this? This is where we're at right now. A couple of quandaries for this storm system. Okay, the what we call the global models, the models that forecast out long into the future, 10, 16 days out. Those are global models. They look at all of the hemisphere and how everything is set up. Those are still the models we use in this situation right now. European and the US model called the GFS. Then we would go to the high resolution models, and those are starting to get into the time frame where we can use them, but just on the edge. So the high resolution models are good 24 to 48 hours out, and the storm is essentially, the heart of it is about 36 hours, I guess I would say, from now. Yeah. So they're starting to creep in, but the global models are still probably king. The difference is the global models don't have the resolution, the extreme accuracy that the high resolution models do. So we're going to start with the global model that we usually use and usually works out pretty good, and that is the European model. So this is the radar forecast. So today, snow showers. Notice that blue line. That is the freezing line. Karen Jacobs, I'm worried about winds on Saginaw Bay. We'll take a look. I don't think we should really be worried about much of anything in this. We're getting toward March. We'll get through it. It's basically going to be a common sense. Don't drive in the late afternoon on Wednesday. Wednesday evening, certainly not. Don't drive anywhere if it's not an emergency. Wednesday night, don't drive anywhere if not emergency. And Thursday morning will still be iffy in a lot of places. In fact, Thursday afternoon will still be nasty somewhere. So here is Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. Overnight, we get a little area of light snow that swings through north of Grand Rapids, but Big Rapids, Cadillac, Traverse City, even Saginaw Bay City, Midland. That might be an inch or two. Now we go to, let's say, 1 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. So your pink is freezing rain, just starting to develop. That's light. Now we go to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Look at Detroit to Ann Arbor to Jackson. And then this is 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Freezing rain zone, southern third of the state. Now, the difference with what I talked about, the high resolution models, the difference on those versus this is still that freezing rain zone, but it shifts it quicker to the north. Instead of hanging it through the night and then shifting it north during the day on Thursday, it shifts it north through the night on Wednesday. So that is definitely a potential. There's two potentials here actually, and I'm going to show you. The first potential is that in the southern third, the populated areas, the warmth will come in and it'll be a 3 to 6 hour ice accumulation. And that's why I would call it a temporary ice storm. The second potential is that the Weather Service, both Weather Service offices, have low ice accumulation forecasts compared to what all of the models are showing. So there's a potential that they need to bump that up to half inch to inch. In my experience, the situation that we have right now, heavy rain, freezing rain coming in the evening toward midnight, it accumulates, and the models are pretty good. They're forecasting 1.3 to 1.8 inches of ice. Probably not going to happen, probably overdone. Let's hope so. But that certainly means a half inch to an inch range is certainly, unfortunately, doable. Okay, so let's pick up. So basically, what you're getting out of this is that late Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, it's a no-go. And then as we go toward Thursday morning, this is 7 a.m. Thursday morning, then you'll see the main area of freezing rain moves off. We got sleet around the Tri-Cities, Saginaw Bay City, Midland, sleet around Grand Rapids, snow in the northern third of the state, and that's why you'll pile up. I'm picking a line anywhere from Standish to Reed City northward as mostly snow and in your quote-unquote snowstorm area of 6 to 10 inches. I mean, here you can see by noon on Thursday, the sleet makes it up to Standish, just briefly, and the freezing line comes northward. I'll show that to you, but it doesn't last long because by the time it turns dark Thursday night, then the cold air is starting to move back in. All right, so this is an important one too. Highs today in the 30s in the southeast, 20s in the northwest. Highs tomorrow, 31 in Flint, 31 in Lansing, 31 in Grand Rapids, 30 at Pontiac. Now look at Thursday. Look at Thursday's temperatures. Chuck Horvath, how will be driving Thursday up to mile? That won't be good. This is Thursday because you see the freezing line around Bay County somewhere to about Reed City. North of that, it stays in the 20s and teens. No melt off. Rob Guzdala driving Lake City to Frankenmuth. Thursday, about 11 a.m. Not good unless you like snow and sleet and freezing rain and frozen roads. But look at Thursday. Look at Saginaw making it to 40, probably late, probably 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night. So on Thursday, if in a zone from Grand Rapids to Saginaw Bay City and the Thumb, if you can wait until Thursday afternoon, roads should improve very dramatically. Okay. Look at Lansing, 51 on Thursday. Look at Kalamazoo, 57. Detroit, Ann Arbor, 60 degrees. So that's why I say in the middle of the night, you get this ice accumulation, and then it is gone as the warm air moves in. But then Friday, we go back to much colder temperatures. And again, this isn't something that sticks around for days and weeks because already by Saturday, A lot of places in the north up to 33, 34. Sunday a little cooler, but then by Monday, 40, 45 degrees by the time we get to Traverse City. Okay, so the complicated story is Wednesday afternoon, increasing danger. Wednesday evening, Wednesday overnight, dangerous just about everywhere. Thursday morning, somewhere in the south, probably south of I-94, you will have melted off. North of that, it could be very treacherous to dangerous, and we'll see that danger zone shift northward through the day on Thursday, but it may take until late afternoon or evening for that freezing line to get up into the Saginaw Bay City area. Let's see. So let's go to the freezing rain now. Here's the dilemma again. What you're going to see first is the National Weather Service's forecast accumulation of ice. Then I'm going to show you the GFS, the US model's forecast of ice. It's lighter than the European. I'm not showing you the heaviest because I don't want you to go, whoa. But the point is, the Weather Service right now underplaying because they're going with the warmer solution of the high resolution models right now. And I'm watching some of those come in, and they're not much warmer. They had kind of trended warmer and then have backed off just a touch. So here's again, the human-made ice accumulation forecast. So they're talking 1/10 of an inch to 2/10 of an inch around the Detroit area. That's not bad, okay? Terry McCarthy, yeah, Traverse City looking pretty good for a snowstorm. I would call it a 6 to 10 incher there. You know, a lot of the models are showing 11, 12, 13 inches, but I think that might be overdone. But it has the potential to go that way. Traverse City, I'd call it 8 to 10. Now, this is the ice accumulation from the human beings at the National Weather Service. Lansing, 3/10. Grand Rapids, 3/10. Okay, and again, the ice lasts in those places. Those two places probably lasts 6 to 12 hours. Okay, now here is the US model called the GFS with its ice accumulation, and it's a lot heavier. It's a little bit farther south with the axis along I-94. It's heavier. It's a 1/2 inch to an inch, inch and a quarter. That's why I like 1/2 inch to an inch. You know, and again, either way you slice it, this would melt off because that model also gets you into the warmer temperatures eventually on Thursday. Snowfall. Okay, what are we going to do about snowfall? In what we call the Tri-City, Saginaw Bay City, Midland, there will be some mix. That cuts the amount. Grand Rapids, there will be some mix. That cuts the amount dramatically. I'm saying the mix will not be significant from somewhere around Standish to Reed City northward. So Cadillac, Houghton Lake, Clare, northeast corner, Traverse City. You may get some sleet mixed in there for a time period. You may get a little bit of brief freezing rain at times, but not enough to really impact the squashing down, so to speak, of the snowfall. So what we're going to use is the national blend of models where it blends all these models together. And I think this is a good way to start on a snowfall forecast for this. And it would call it a 6 to 10 inch forecast into the UP. Okay. Cindy Gilly, heading to Missouri on Friday. Going to be okay? Yes, you should be okay in that case because all the warmth will have moved in and melted off the roads. You should be okay. So let's call it 6 to 10 from Standish to Reed City, northward. Let's call it 6 to 10 for Traverse City and Houghton Lake and Gaylord and Alpena and Oscoda. the Saginaw Bay City, Midland Thumb area to north side of Grand Rapids, you're in that zone where we have to go back to my brownie analogy. You're going to get a lot of precipitation. It's just, is it 2 to 4 inches of snow, 1 inch of sleet, and a quarter inch of ice, or is it 5 or 6 inches of snow? I think it's probably 2 to 4 inches of snow. Probably for Saginaw Bay City, probably a tenth to a quarter of an inch of ice, probably more toward the tenth, and there will be a half inch of sleet in there. So it will be a mess. All right. How about we take some questions here now? And I'm going to go back to. I think I'm gonna go back to the forecast map. Okay, to answer these questions. I think I'm gonna go back to this. This is probably the most important thing: the human-made ice forecast. Okay, so Laura Lindemann, how about Celine and Ann Arbor? Where did you go? And Ann Arbor. Okay, so you start to get the freezing rain Wednesday afternoon late. Wednesday evening is nasty. You will probably warm up sometime Thursday morning and things will go almost springish. 50. Um, yep. Sharon Brown likes fluffy snow and gooey brownies. Okay, I agree with you. Let's see. Walker to Hershey, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Lisa, you should be okay. Certainly, you would be beating the brunt of the storm system. Good morning, Muskegon. When does it start for Muskegon, Phyllis? Okay, that's a good question. Let's use this for when it starts for Muskegon. Now, Muskegon, you can get in this light snow tonight, not associated with a storm, and it comes to an end tomorrow morning. But it's going to take probably until, in the late morning, Muskegon will start to get some snow, some light snow, and then by mid-afternoon, you'll start to get into the freezing rain or so. Chris Stosick, how about Jackson? Your freezing rain Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. We'll call it quarter to half inch accumulation, and then you go above freezing sometime Thursday morning. Jerome Allen, for Bay City, will that mess from Thursday freeze up with dropping temperatures for Friday? Yes, that is the problem. The warmth will make it so far north and clean up the roads, and they usually dry off at that point. But where it doesn't make it far enough north, then the cold air comes right back in Thursday, and that's probably somewhere Bay City to Midland or north of that. Chance of getting Bishop Airport from Grand Blanc, 6 a.m. Thursday, Claudia Kirkin. You'll just have to play it by ear. The brunt of the precipitation will have fallen, and this will be a good temperature for salt to work on the road. So it's going to be close, but it's possible. East Lansing, you get into the freezing rain tomorrow late afternoon, tomorrow night, freezing rain, probably a quarter inch or more. And you don't go above freezing in East Lansing probably until midday Thursday. Elma, same kind of deal. You're into the freezing rain, sleet, snow, and it takes you till Thursday afternoon, maybe late afternoon, before you get to above the freezing enough that the roads really. Are we late this morning? I was on at 9. Yeah, we're a little bit late because I had a lot to look at here. Howell, Michigan, Nate Murad. I would say, your freezing rain tomorrow late afternoon into evening and overnight, and then you warm above freezing and things melt off sometime probably late Thursday morning. How much for the Flint area, Kimberly Roberts? Flint is a mixture. 1 or 2 inches of snow, maybe a half inch of sleet, and probably a tenth to 2/10 of an inch of ice. Flint above the freezing mark. Early Thursday afternoon, probably at the latest. Will there be snow in Muskegon for the luge? Muskegon, you're in the mix too, so you're probably 1 to 3 inches, and then the half inch of sleet, and then the tenth to quarter of freezing rain. How about Imlay City, Gene Mead? Eh, you're right in the mix of some of each. Couple inches of snow, some sleet, tenth, 2/10 of freezing rain. Sharon Sherwood, Friday, driving to Chicago for flight from West Michigan. Please be clear. Well, yes, because the warmth gets in Thursday evening. So things should clear up. Friday morning, cold. Will the roads be perfect? Doubt it, but they probably will not be terrible either. Kalamazoo to Wisconsin, Thursday midday. Okay, let's see, Rebecca Barnum. Kalamazoo to Wisconsin. Well, we got the good map. Let's see, Thursday midday. Ooh, okay, let's go to Thursday midday for Rebecca Barnum. There's midday. Above the freezing mark. So Kalamazoo to, I don't know where you're going in Wisconsin. Southern Wisconsin, Madison, probably okay. Northern Wisconsin, probably in 6 to 10 inches of snow and pretty nasty. Traveling south on Saturday, Cindy Beerline, you should be a-okay, I would think, on Saturday. Eastern UP, you get blasted with 6 to 10 inches. Terry Roads, Thursday morning, Ann Arbor. So this is morning. The precipitation has diminished, wound down in the Ann Arbor Thursday morning, and we're just waiting for the temperature to come above freezing. So that tells me the major interstates will be in decent shape. It's getting on and off of them and in the parking lots and on the side roads and whatnot. But if you can get to 94 Thursday morning, you're probably in pretty good shape. How does Friday morning look driving from Grand Rapids to Muskegon? It should be okay. Not terrible. Got to travel from Reed to GR Heart Doctor 1 p.m. Should I reschedule? JZ, are you talking? What day are you talking? If you're talking, Wednesday, tomorrow, I mean, they take a while. So by the time you come back, it could be starting to get nasty. So if you're talking Wednesday, I probably would reschedule. If you're talking Thursday, probably 2, if it's something you could reschedule. Do you have a map? Jalessa Colt, do you have a map guessing snow totals by Thursday evening? We use the word forecast. We don't like to use the word guess because then people say, see, you're guessing, but I'll go with it. Here is the snowfall totals map right here, the best one that I've found to use. So there you go. 6 to 10, northern third, then a swath of 2 to 6, and then light amounts after that. Best day drive from Leelanau to Ann Arbor today. Okay. Snow day in Marysville? I would think probably. Let's see. Fenton, Sioux Strats. So you're in the freezing rain Wednesday afternoon and evening and sleet. And then Fenton, you warm up probably Thursday afternoon, something like that. Sally Ecker, Boyne Falls is solidly in the snow, 6 to 10 incher, I would call it. Let's see, Lansing, please, Josh Lee. Lansing's a mess. Lansing's freezing rain Wednesday afternoon, definitely Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, slows down, warms up above freezing sometime midday Thursday, and things improve dramatically. How much snow will Gladwin get? I would say Gladwin is probably in the 3 to 6 inch range because you'll have some mix. Tomorrow morning, Tawas should be okay, not great. Frank Melky, will ice and snow melt away in Lapeer by Monday? Uh, yeah, I think you're fine. We're at the point now where we get a little sunshine and we're into the 30s. Traveling to Detroit Wednesday evening, Jackson to Detroit after 4 p.m. We are flying out Thursday noon. Are we going to be okay? Thursday noon, Detroit looks fine. You're probably in the 50s at that point. Jackson to Detroit, 4 p.m. on Wednesday evening and later, very dangerous. So you may want to. I know a lot of people have this plan. Whoop, I lost my screen share there. I know a lot of people have this plan. Usually, when you fly out of Detroit, hey, well, let's drive from somewhere and get there, and then we fly out the next day. This might be the case where it's more dangerous to do that. Like someone mentioned, Jackson to Detroit Wednesday evening. I would say that'd be could be quite a treacherous, dangerous drive, and you might do better just hustling at 6 or 7 Thursday morning after the precipitation slowed down, after they've salted the roads, after the temperature comes up toward 31 or 32. You might be better doing that. So watch the forecast and think about that. All right, there you have it. That's the MLive morning weather update. How about that? That's quite an update, isn't it? We'll continue to keep you updated on the tweakings. There are tweakings. I'll be honest, there are a lot of tweakings to go. How much will the total ice be? When will it melt off? Where will it melt off? How much snow will there be? So all of those things, we're just going to be fine tuning in what we call targeted posts on MLive. In that, this is one of those where if I try to cover the whole state, it waters it down. So I'm going to take Ann Arbor and Detroit, and Jackson, and Saginaw Bay City, Midland, Thumb, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo. Put you in separate posts because the weather will change dramatically from location to location. There you go. Hey, good morning, Sherry Houston. Thanks for watching, a fellow former co-worker. Hope you're doing well. So take care. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update every morning. Sometimes I'm a little late, but it happens. Take care.